So you said it's not that bad, on par with Morbius. It
Yeah,
does
and
appear
so
that
I would
people.
expect a solid rotten rating, something just around this. So this, yeah, that's what I said. It's an entertaining movie. It's not a great movie. When I compare it to Morbius and Shazam: Fury of the Gods, I do that with for a reason, and both of those are solidly rotten movies. So I wouldn't expect nothing else of this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's getting absolutely trounced. What first and foremost, before we look at some of these reviews, and I wanted to get your review first because I wanted us to take a look at it and match it up with your review, basically. Do we think that this is going to go down, or do we think it's going to go up? Because only 72 reviews. What do we think? Is this going to go down or up? Nick?
Down, down, down.
Andre says down. Nick? Oh, Nick's buggered off for a bit. Culture. Do you think it's going to go down or up?
I think it's going to go down. I'm with Andre, and I think that the audience score will kind of hover around the mid range. I don't think it's going to go completely rotten. The reason I think that is because there are people that just have zero interest in seeing it, and the Uber Snyder Bros are going to be the ones that really support the film. So you'll get a flood of verified positive reviews.
Okay. Tom, down or up?
I think it's going to hover around the same area here. I think most of the critics have already chimed in for the most part, outside of the internet critics probably. So, yeah, unless there's some huge surge among them to stand up for this movie, or there's a bunch of Momoa freaks out there, I don't see this getting any better. It's gone up a little bit since this morning. I think it started around 36%, but yeah, it's not moving around too much.
There. Right. Well, I thought we would just take a look at some of these to see what you think. I mean, like ultimately, I think this will probably go down a fraction. I don't think it'll go down much. I think they always start low, generally speaking, and then they go up. Now, this isn't a Disney movie, so that makes a big difference as well. If it's only an environmental message, I would say it's not woke enough for these lefty critics. So, it's gone up a bit, and then I think it's probably going to go down just a fraction, if at all, and it's probably going to stay around this, give or take. But let's see what you think of these, Andre, and everyone else as well on the panel. The Lost Kingdom is not exactly a good film, but it isn't a bad one either. That's a fresh review. Andre?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm surprised he gives it a fresh review, but that summary is on point. See, this is what I'm saying too. It's not a good film. You can go through it point by point by point and argue why it's a bad film, but I had fun watching it. I mean, I preferred watching that to, for instance, The Marvels or even The Flash. I mean, I'd sooner rewatch this movie than rewatch The Flash.
Wow. Negative one here. 2 out of 5 says, while affable star Jason Momoa still gives his all as the bro dude king, water dude bro, I coined that, of Atlantis, the sequel to the 2018 original suggests a creative team that checked out long ago.
Well, as I detailed in my review, all the problems that they had with dealing with 3 different regimes that all wanted different things. I mean, no wonder they were going to check out. So, yeah, can't argue with them.
I was going to say, mainly, surely it was all the reshoots that happened as well, because there's so many bloody reshoots. Were they noticeable?
And the funny thing is that all the reshoots, they were all for nothing, because they ripped out all the reshot stuff anyway.
Oh, God.
So it was for nothing.
What was the CGI like? Because I've heard it's terrible.
It's terrible, yeah.
Oh, so it's terrible. It's just terrible CGI then, yeah.
It's there. I mean, I was never wowed by how good it is, but I also never thought, "Whoa, this is shit." It was. Just,
oh, okay.
It was even worse because it was just bland and mediocre throughout.
Right. Was it on par with The Flash, or worse, or better? Sorry.
Well, there's no like baby and microwave sequence, so it was better than that.
Okay, all right.
Because there was no sequence that was like so ridiculous. Well, the whole thing was ridiculous, but there there was like no nuke the fridge moment or baby in the microwave moment where like, oh my god, I'm out. Like there was no moment like that.
So we've got this review says the characters are a bunch of nothing burgers. They have no development. They're just kind of there.
True.
The sequel is more of the same, much more in terms of the pile-on of the bells and whistles.
No, this I disagree with. I mean, this is like a self-referential parody of the first one. It's not more of the same because there were good aspects of the first one. It took itself seriously, and this one doesn't. This is basically, if you say that the first one was Batman Forever, this is Batman and Robin. This is giving it the Taika Waititi gone nuts overhaul. I don't know what I mean here. This is not more of the first. This is
right.
The ridiculousness of the first without any of the seriousness, and then that ramped up.
So what they did with Venom then, basically, because Venom had some sort of serious.
Yeah, exactly. This again, this is
all the jokes. Yeah.
That's actually a very, very fair comparison. That's the best comparison I've heard so far. Yeah, as I said, like the first Venom is far, far better than this movie, but this is on par with Venom Part 2.
Well, let's do all the fresh ones now, because all the negative ones are probably going to be about the same. But I get the feeling everyone was just calling it in on this one. A wait for screening for all, but the most devoted fans. They gave this a B-. But she says, I get the feeling everyone was phoning it in, basically. Like, what?
I have to say, there's a really big inflation around like A's and B's. I mean, more movies should probably get C's and D's.
$50 is $50.
I wouldn't say, yeah. Getting them $50.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah, true. It is Christmas. We're on the Christmas.
Christmas gifts are expensive.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is slightly predictable, but still entertaining. That's a 3.5 out of 5. What would you give it out of 5?
2.5.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't know. Here's like the thing. Like I don't know that I would go up to a 3, but I don't know that I would go down to a 2. So it'd be like hovering right around 2 or 3, depending on what I choose to give more weight. Like, for instance, the good thing about it, the best thing about it is this focus on family, which is something we haven't really seen in movies as of late. Whereas this one is all about the love between a parent and the child and between siblings. And I'm like, I'm going to give plus points for that, but then I want to give minus points for the whole WEF thing. So what is more important in the final evaluation? I don't really know, because there you have something good mixed in with something insidious. So is it a 2 or is it a 3? I'm going to give a 2 out of 5 out of,
Yeah, well, they give this... Now, this one gives it a 6 out of 10. Says, if Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is truly the end of this current incarnation of the extended DC Comics cinematic universe, Jesus Christ, that's a long one. At least things are going out on a lighthearted and fun note. I'm sure you probably agree with that, to be honest. Don't you?
Yeah, apart from the eating of the bugs. I know it was supposed to be fun, but I don't think it was funny at all.
It's disposable entertainment that feels at times like the world's coolest screensaver or weirdest aquarium. Dive in, but don't expect to get too deep.
I have to say, I think it's funny because I think all of these are largely on point. I mean, they're all accurate and they all reflect a different aspect of the movie. You see, none of these describe a good movie. And not a too bad movie.
A bonkers adventure film all about family. 7 out of 10.
I don't know. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, but yeah, it is all about family. This is true.
Momoa is channeling his Fast X villain flamboyance into his heroic character, yet the film arrives at sincere places after all the sarcasm.
That's bullshit. He's channeling his inner Jason Momoa. It's Jason Momoa being Jason Momoa, performing in a Jason Momoa vehicle. I mean, that's what it is, right? Jason Momoa, he fundamentally has one character in him, and that's Jason Momoa. And how good or bad he is in a role depends on how like that character is Jason Momoa. And this one, he goes all in on Jason Momoa. I mean, that's what he's doing. Maybe this reviewer didn't get that.
There's a 7 out of 10 here. 3C Films. He's a YouTuber. It says Aquaman 2 embodies the charm of a Saturday morning cartoon, with more positive aspects than negative. However, it's burdened by serving as a conclusion for the DCEU, despite its intention to be nothing more than a light-hearted and fun sequel. But surely, if it's got no reference to the DCEU, that doesn't make any sense because it's not burdened by anything.
Yeah, there's absolutely no other references here to anything else in the DCEU. So this is kind of like, yeah. I mean, I would say that the proper end was the Flash, which ended with George Clooney is now the Batman in the DCEU, and this was kind of like a post-script to that, I guess. This is like the whole movie is a post-credit scene to the DCEU.
That's a good way of looking at it. Well, there you go, everyone. Hopefully that's satiated your need for Aquaman. Crap.
Well, I have to still see this piece of crap today.
I'm
forward
to hearing your thoughts, especially now when I've alerted you to mind the eating of the bugs, because it took me a while before it clicked for me that, oh wait, shit, WEF ending and eating the bugs. This was more than just a joke.
I've got to chime in on that eating the bugs business, because loads of people keep pushing this. It would actually, if you were to eat bugs in the level required to hit protein requirements as a human, you would actually reach a level of toxicity on certain vitamins and minerals that are actually held within the insects that they want you to eat. Just as an FYI, that's a fact. You can go look it up. It's incredibly dangerous. No one should be ever eating bugs. Go have a bloody steak.
Well, let's just say that the people that push for you to eat bugs, they will have the steaks that remain.
Bunch of wankers.
Yeah, it's not about them. It's about you.
Yeah.
And it's
really about them.
I'm Nicole.
She's eating the bugs.
I'm going to eat a 4-course meal of bugs. Talent, eating micro livestock, cornworms. They're still alive.
Yeah, how much you want to bet she's going to throw that up the moment the cameras have rolled and have a nice
moist,
succulent
There was a cut there. We don't even know if she's really eating those worms anyway.
Yeah.
There was a cut there.
This is for the camera, for the
Try the
pleb.
second course, shall we?
She looked quite repulsed doing that.
Side note.
I did not see any kind of enjoyment.
I want to see them fuckers moving when she puts them on her tongue.
I want to see her swallow.
Some mealworms.
I used to want to see her swallow.
That's the face of an
Aquaman.
They are not showing it close enough to where I can tell if they're real or not.
Taste. I'd recommend it. Here we have
it cuts before it, just as she was supposed to.
That's what I'm saying. It always cuts just before. Those crickets are not as big as the ones they just showed us.
Like nothing you've ever tasted. Like
and cut before they swallow. I want to see you swallow, and I don't see any swallowing going on here. She's laughing at the pleb.
They have a garbage can right off camera for her to peek in.
The fried grasshopper. These.
My God, what a shit actress!
Are amazing.
She doesn't even believe it herself.
Exquisite.
Look,
she eats like a weirdo. Kind of.
Grasshoppers.
Not that I eat really. I'm like a pig when I eat, but.
Right, well, there you go.
Oh,
wow. Anyway, let's shuffle on away from that nonsense.